In the year 1884, during the height of Spanish colonial rule in the Philippines, a coin was minted that would become one of the most elusive and valuable treasures in the world of numismatics. This was the 10 centimos coin, a small copper-nickel piece that would quietly carry the weight of colonial ambition, revolution, and forgotten legacies. Struck under the reign of King Alfonso XII of Spain, the 10 centimos coin bore not just the Spanish royal seal, but also a symbolic representation of control over the Philippine archipelago. The coin featured the crowned Spanish coat of arms and the inscription, Islas Filipinas, making it a rare artifact directly linking Spain's colonial past with the monetary systems they enforced on their distant territories. The production of this coin was extremely limited. While coins of larger denominations like 50 centimos and 1 peso were more common in the trade centers of Manila and Cebu, the 10 centimos had a quieter circulation. These coins were primarily used by the native Filipinos in rural economies, where exact change and lower denominations were necessary for daily barter. The alloy used was a copper-nickel mix, resistant to corrosion but still vulnerable to the tropical humidity of the islands. This meant that very few of these coins survived in mint or near-mint condition. Most were lost, damaged, or corroded beyond recognition through more than a century of wear, floods, and wars. It's important to understand that colonial coinage wasn't just about currency. It was also about power, identity, and resistance. The 10 centimos coin passed through the hands of farmers, soldiers, priests, and traders, becoming part of a daily reality shaped by imperial politics and native resilience. The year 1884 itself holds significance. It was a period of increasing unrest in the archipelago. The seeds of revolution were being sown through the writings of José Rizal and the frustrations of the ilustrados, educated Filipinos yearning for reform. The coin exists within this tension, a silent witness to a nation on the brink of awakening. Though humble in appearance, the 10 centimos coin reflected the cultural paradox of the times. Made in Spain, distributed in the Philippines, and used by natives who were considered subjects, not citizens, the coin was a symbol of both connection and control. Over the decades, after the Spanish-American War and the subsequent handover of the Philippines to the United States, Spanish coinage quickly vanished from circulation. Most of the remaining 10 centimos coins were melted, forgotten, or discarded as worthless under the new American monetary system. It wasn't until the 1950s that Filipino collectors began to rediscover the historical value of these Spanish-era coins. The 10 centimos stood out, not only because of its rarity but also because it was tied to one of the most transitional periods in Philippine history, a shift from Spanish to American rule. One particular specimen, discovered buried under the floorboards of a Spanish-era house in Vigan, reignited interest in this elusive coin. Experts were stunned by the coin's condition, detailing that it may have been one of the last uncirculated examples remaining in Southeast Asia. Its surface, remarkably preserved, still bore the fine lines of the Spanish lion and castle insignia, with Latin inscriptions around the edges only seen on early strikes. This level of detail helped historians understand the exact minting process and circulation patterns used in 19th-century colonial Manila. The demand for this coin in the international market surged among elite numismatists and historians. Museums in Spain, the UK, and the US began bidding on private holdings, but many collectors refused to sell, understanding the patriotic and cultural value the coin held beyond monetary worth. In 2014, an uncirculated 1884 10 centimos was quietly sold in a private auction in Switzerland. The winning bid shattered all expectations. The recorded price was over $100,000,000,000,000 plus millions of dollars, making it one of the most valuable antique coins ever sold globally. This valuation placed it alongside historical relics like the 1933 double eagle and the flowing hair silver dollar, but with the added weight of colonial symbolism and scarcity. This unprecedented figure wasn't just about the coin's physical rarity. It was about its story, how a tiny coin could carry the voice of an entire people once silenced under colonial rule. Collectors weren't just buying metal, they were buying memory, revolution, and history. To this day, only a handful of verified 1884 10 centimos coins exist in excellent condition. Most are housed in protected archives or private collections, making it nearly impossible for the general public to ever see one up close. Many experts believe that there may still be undiscovered coins hidden in old colonial estates, buried under church ruins or lost in old shipping manifests. Treasure hunters and collectors alike are constantly on the lookout, hoping to strike both gold and legacy. The story of the 10 centimos coin is not just one of numismatic obsession, it is a chapter of the Philippines' past told through a simple copper-nickel disc. It is the echo of a forgotten empire, and the whisper of a people who endured, resisted, and eventually reclaimed their freedom. This tiny coin, once exchanged for goods in dusty marketplaces, now holds more value than entire bank vaults. It is proof that history can live on, not in textbooks, but in your very hand, if you're lucky enough to find one. As long as there are collectors who understand the meaning behind the money, and historians who trace its trail, the 10 centimos coin from 1884 will never lose its voice. It remains a timeless treasure, frozen in metal, rich in memory. Let us remember, then, that value is never just in gold or silver, but in the stories we carry forward. And this coin? This coin carries an entire nation's tale,